So now I got a pretty good model in the sense that my faces all seem to be quads. They seem to have relatively even spacing so that don't have any. I did add off camera, if you will, one edge loop right here so that I had some better spacing here. The inside here was a little too sparse. I have everything as quads. Like I said, it's a little odd right here. I'm not sure if I had to do a lot of texturing. That might be a challenge right there. One thing I could possibly do, just curious to see if I brought these two vertex down. I think that would make my edges. Let's say I undo that. And yeah, it doesn't seem like it makes any difference. So in terms of texturing, I think I'll bring these down just a little bit just to give me a little better shape there. This place right here would really be hard, I think. That little triangle there. I mean, it is four-sided, but it might have a hard time handling the texture map. I could possibly bring these two edges a little closer together so that the transition was a little subtler. Okay, that little lip I left here is really, I think, an advantage because without it, this would get too soft. It wouldn't really hold that. Shape well enough, the transition between this horizontal plane and then this angle. All right, so that's all we're going to do with this. Next steps will be we'll take it into Mudbox and see what we can do. So maybe what we should look at real quick is there a strategy available here? Does it seem logical that we can get it to Mudbox? And I would say what I would do is, use this edge here in Mudbox, go all around that edge, divide the body. I don't have a midline, so I might have a problem with that for the seam. So I know I kept telling you to get rid of the midline, but I'm going to go back and put one in from the top view, just so if I need it for the seam, I can. So again, I'm holding that control key. Okay. And that really isn't going to do anything. Shouldn't do anything to my shape. But it will give me an edge there. I can see myself on these transverse processes cutting that off, and then using this edge. And making an edge loop all the way around here, cutting off the tip of this spinous process, and then using maybe this underside seam. I think we have everything we need to go into to Mudbox and I'm sorry, into 3Dcoat and divide everything. Could possibly put one more here and here, so that way I can even just pull those up a little bit. What's going to happen is the rib is going to, the head of the rib is going to be here, and then the neck is going to sit against this surface as it goes around. So we want to make sure there's a way I can model that as well. And you can see where it's a little thicker in my sketch than it is in the model. So again, it's kind of like a bar of soap. It's somewhat smooth, but we should have enough information here that we can do some editing now in via 3Dcoat to Mudbox and then back into Maya.